Welcome into Red Empress Tarot. I'm Patty. I'm an intuitive, a reader, and a healer on the twin flame path myself, here to read you a message for your twin flame journey. I believe that if you have found this video and this channel, you've been guided to do so. If you love the content, please subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of the tribe. Make sure that you tap into your intuition. Make sure that you are following your internal guidance. It's really important. And every thumbs up to the video is so valuable. I love every one of you. Thank you so much. And let's go ahead and get into the reading. Hi all, welcome to your reading. It's just after 6 o'clock on Thursday night, and I had intended to go live tonight. Got home an hour early and started to get everything ready. And I thought I had researched it all the way. I talked to some people that do this, and what I didn't know is that the first time you go live, it takes 24 hours for them to verify your account for live. My account's verified for everything else, but for live, not so much. So I wasn't able to go live tonight. So those of you guys that were looking forward to that, I am so sorry. I will be ready for next week. So next Thursday, 6 p.m. Yeah, that was really, really disappointing. So I decided I'm gonna quickly do a reading and put it up so I have something up for you guys today. We will do the live just like I was gonna do, with the questions, free questions afterwards next week. And I'm sorry to make everyone wait. YouTube's really funny in some different ways. Like, I can't use my mobile. I was gonna use my phone, and I can't use that until I have 1,000 subscribers. So, and we're just under the 400 mark right now. So I think I've got right around 390. So 10 more subscribers and I'll be at 400. I'll also do a mini reading giveaway at that point. So that's not very far off. I'm excited about that. But I've got to get up to 1,000 first. So that's going to take a little more work. But I will still be able to do lives with my laptop. It's a little more janky. It's not as ideal as I would like it to be, but I'm still going to be able to do it. So next week, first, that's going to be February already. Yeah, it'll be the first Thursday in February, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I will do an energy check-in between Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, and do one free question for each reader at the end pertaining to the reading. So sorry about that, guys. Let's go ahead and get started on this reading. I'm going to do that same reading that I was going to do. And then tomorrow I'll also upload a pick a card, something fun for you guys. I don't know what the subject will be yet. Let me just get my Palo Santo going. And clear up this space. Get rid of all my frustration. There's so much to learn when you're doing tech stuff. But I'm getting there, one thing at a time. Clear up the space. Let me get all my cards over here. Some for me, some for you guys. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I have a new reader that I really like, and she's doing a style that's interesting. Mine won't be exactly the same, but I want to give it a shot and see how this kind of reading goes. So I'll have one deck for one counterpart and a different deck for the other counterpart. And I'm going to use some oracle cards to get kind of the flavor of the reading first, okay? So, oracle cards, what am I going to use? I think I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with the messenger oracle on that. So I'm going to grab like 3 oracle cards to see how this comes out. So, spirits, guides, ancestors, protectors, angels, thank you for being with me here today and always. Help me be a clear and accurate channel for messages for the Twin Flame Collective watching this reading. Let all the messages that come out be for the highest good of all parties involved. Grounding. Protecting. Archangel Michael, surround me with your protection as I surround myself with a ball of white light protection. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to shuffle this time. I'm not going to fan because I don't have enough space on this table. We got here the Ancient Ones. What else are we getting? So it's time for Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, this connection, to really be listening to their guides, really be tapping into their intuition. It's important right now. Make sure you're tapping into your intuition. Do not force the story if it doesn't fit. Okay, if it resonates, that's great. You are guided to be here to hear the message. It might be part of the messages for you. If it doesn't resonate, don't make the shoe fit. Okay. Need and necessity. Okay. One more. Sorry if that's a little loud. Okay, so we've got Know You Belong. Okay. All right, I am not going to say Divine Masculine or Divine Feminine. I'm going to let you decide based on your story which side is which counterpart, okay? Because the energy does flip-flop around anyway, only you know what fits your story, okay? So I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot for counterpart A over here on the left, and the Everyday Witch Tarot for the counterpart on the right. So let's start with 3 cards. I think I'm actually going to stack these this way in the middle. Okay, 3 cards for counterpart A over here with the Light Seers Tarot. We've got 6 of Pentacles. We're just checking in what's going on in this connection. Tell me about the story of this connection. 9 of Cups. And 8 of Swords for counterpart A. And we're going to clarify those in a minute. All right. So for counterpart B, give me 3 cards, please. This is kind of like the mirror message, but I'm not doing headspace, heart space, and possible actions. This is just the story of what's going on either side. What's going on for each person. What's going on for counterpart B over here? What's going on for counterpart B? No. It's too many. I am too many flipped. I am going to keep shuffling. The right card's always going to come out. The Hierophant. Counterpart B, tell me this story. 2 more cards, please, Spirit. Two more cards, please, Spirit. Eight of Swords. We've got 8 of Swords on both sides. High Priestess. All right. I'm trying to decide. I think I'm going to pull my first clarifier from the same deck. I want to read first. Let's just look at what's here. I want to get an idea. So for this person, counterpart A over here, we've got 6 of Pentacles with the 9 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. So I see a person here that, and look, hold on, let me just double check back here. Need and necessity. Need and necessity. Hear the ancient ones. And know you belong. So first, before we even start to read, let's talk about that. So here the ancient ones is definitely talking about following your intuition, following your guides, right? Your guides feed into your intuition. So if you think about your gut instinct, and that's usually what people call it before they know it's their intuition. Your gut instinct comes from somewhere. It doesn't come from nowhere. Your knowing is downloaded to you from your higher self and from the universe. So your higher self is actually one of your own guides. I don't know if anyone talks about that, but yourself in the 5D, your 5D self is your higher self and is your biggest guide. So you are technically your own biggest guide. And then you have a group of other guides. They can be past family members. They can be angels. They can be all kinds of different configurations, right? And different people have different ideas on what that is. But you have a spirit team that works with you, and your own higher self is a big part of that. So, you know, hearing the ancient ones, when you look at this card, you can see here there's this pool of knowledge, right? And the ancient ones, this is kind of a representative of your guides, is kind of the pool of knowledge is falling from their lips. And then that is kind of where you're pulling your intuition from. And then you can see the third eye here where the universe is feeding into them. So it's kind of an interesting cycle. There's a real need for both sides to really start tapping into and following that intuition. I think that there's been some blockages here. There's a real need to do it. It's not really optional at this point in the journey. It's necessary to do this, to really find completion in this path, in this twin flame path that we've been on. Know you belong. You know, you belong on your path. You belong with your twin. You belong with your spirit guides. You belong standing in your power. All the places where you naturally fit. It's really important for both counterparts at this time to really settle in to belonging in the journey, in their intuition, and in their power. You know, as you go along this journey, it's really, really challenging because so many people don't understand it, for one. So your support system, your general 3D support system, most of them aren't going to understand what you're going through, what you're thinking, what's happening. They just think, oh, you know, you have this ex that was a real jerk and, you know, just stay away from them and move on with your life. They don't understand that this is about triggering each other. It is about healing. It is about ascending. So when we can become better versions of ourselves, we are still ourself. We are becoming our highest version of ourselves. And we trigger each other to do that. And when we do come into union, it can really, really amplify things. I mean, you can end up being a power couple that does great things in the world. Or you can just end up being really happy and pushing each other constantly to be your best self and to do your best work in the world. At this point in the journey, this collective that we've been tapping into, we're still tapping into, for a lot of the readings, the mirror messages, you know, especially if you go back and look at all the mirror messages that we do every week, we have been tapping into this same collective. And it really feels like we're at the stage where we have to take the training wheels off, guys. That's the vision I'm getting in my head, is taking the training wheels off, and really, really knowing our place with spirit, with our guides in the universe. Before you can graduate the twin flame journey, you got to do that. You have to be really tapped into your own intuition and really trusting yourself, trusting spirit, trusting the universe. One counterpart is further along with that than the other, okay? Because of the cards we got, and we'll talk about that as we clarify. But this is the overall tone of this reading, is that we're in that place that we're not even really talking about the main flavor of the reading. We're not even talking about like coming into union or blockages or whatever. We're talking about self. Each counterpart needs to be looking at this and really, really getting in tune with spirit. It's time with every single one of these cards that we drew has a very prominent third eye. If I can get the glare off that. Every single one of these cards, the cat, the female figure, the male figure, whatever they are, all have a really prominent third eye. It's time to really, really get in touch with not only your intuition, guys, but your power as a light worker. And I know we talk about this on the journey, but this is the point where we need to stop and really talk about what it is to be a light worker. You're not only intuitive, not only can you pick the right pile, but you can read people, you can heal, all different kinds of gifts that each one of you will have different flavors of, right? It's time for you to really look at your gifts, really look at what the universe has given you in this lifetime to come here and to do in this world. It's time to look beyond ourselves and our connection, because before we can graduate, right, and come into union with our partner, or at least come to balance with them, before we can come to balance with them, even if we end up not being life partners, this is a huge step toward the end. Okay, it's really, really tapping in. It's looking at your power. It's stepping into your power, guys. Time to step into your power if you haven't done it already. Take the training wheels off. If you don't know what your power is yet, it's time to really meditate. Spend some time every single day. Every single day. If it's right before you go to bed, if it's right when you get up in the morning, if you take 15 minutes at lunchtime, whatever you do, spend some time meditating and getting really in tune and listening to what you hear from spirit. If you don't know what your power is yet, that's where you're going to start to really find that. Okay? But it's time to do it. All right. It's also time to be, with this Know You Belong, it's really time to be finding your soul tribe. Okay? You need to find the people in your 3D world that are going to help you on your journey. A lot of us don't have that when we start off, and as we go, we pick them up. It's time to make 3D connections with people. Know that you belong in that community. You do belong in that community. Okay, go to your local metaphysical bookstore. Find out what's going on with them. Introduce yourself. Let them know what's going on. Guess what? That's the place where you're going to be accepted. Okay, go online. There are Facebook groups, metaphysical Facebook groups, where you will find people in your soul tribe. I have done so. All kinds of different ways to hook in. Start researching them. Make friends with people in the chat, because guess what? Everybody in the chat is on this journey, right? If you see people replying and their reply is interesting, introduce yourself. Make a friend, okay? Let's build community, because you have to know at this point in your journey, if this is resonating for you, if this has been resonating for you, you have to understand that you do belong. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and continue reading for the counterparts. This was a really serious message. This is one that really needs to get out so you know where you're at and you know where your focus is. At this point, each counterpart is focused on their own journey and their own things. Divine Feminine is no longer push-pulling, right? Hold your energy back and letting Masculine do his thing. And masculine is wrapping up karmic cycles. And he's doing that because there's no push-pull energy to have to manage. Okay. All right, let's look at what we have here. So this counterpart over here, we got a good look at the cards. This is really an important message, and I want to make sure that I get every nuance of it. So, every time I see this Nine of Cups, I get that this counterpart here has recently really, really come into their own. Really, really is coming into self-love. And they're filling up those cups on their own. With the help of the divine, do you see the kind of ring of light around the person, the rays of light? They're being illuminated. And all of those 9 cups are being filled with love from within. And look at how freeing and beautiful that feeling is. This is really happening for this person, and it's pretty recent, I feel. They're feeling balanced within themselves. They're starting to feel real balance. And this 8 of Swords energy that we're seeing on both sides, this is my card of lifting the 8 of Swords energy. This is being pulled out of the 8 of Swords energy. And if you don't know, the 8 of Swords energy is about being stuck in your own head. And it's like, you see all those crows at the top, right? Those are pieces of information. Those are downloads. Those are even information you've gotten in the 3D. Each one is a piece of mental clarity that is helping untie those bonds. And so this girl in the mirror, and what it doesn't matter, gender doesn't matter in tarot. So this person in the mirror, I should say, instead of girl, is being unbound mentally. And look at who they're becoming. The person outside the mirror. Unbound, okay? Not stuck in their head anymore. And then we got person B over here, the Hierophant. This person is really, really in tune. And I think that there is more to be done. I think that this is like speaking to this point in the journey where you really need to, what is she doing? Meditate. Really tap in. You have the power. Look at what she's doing, okay? She's meditating, yes. But she has students in front of her. She is a spiritual teacher. Person B, it's time to step into who you're going to be. And this has something to do with who you're going to be. Some kind of teacher. You're going to help people on their paths. And teacher doesn't have to be formal. It can be doing what I'm doing, helping people with some guidance, helping people figure out, okay, this is where I am on my path and this is where I need to go and this is the next step. Or this is a heads up, this is what might be happening, maybe that can help you steer your course in the best direction. So it could be this. It could be teaching people something as simple as teaching people to meditate, right? Teaching people energy healing, teaching... I don't know, there's so many options, but I feel like person B over here is or has the capacity to be some kind of spiritual teacher. And, don't make that sound bigger and badder than it is. A teacher is simply someone that helps guide other people. Maybe it's one-on-one. Maybe it's just through friendship and discussion. Maybe it's through imparting information that you've gained. And then we have the 8 of Swords next to that. And it's really interesting that we have this mirror energy on both sides. Because if you look at this 8 of Swords, see the little bird on top of one sword here? Those birds are always mental clarity. There is something that this person has been trapped in their mind about. There's some kind of residual healing that needs to be done. It's a stuck mindset that I think we're getting ready to release. And as we draw more cards, we'll talk more about it. But on both sides, someone has had some kind of a stuck mindset. And we're going to get a clarifier of what that's about. I just wanted to talk about each card real quick. And then the High Priestess. This is your serious intuition. this is who you are. Look, you're an intuitive, or you're a healer, or you're a witch, or you're a Wiccan. I don't know what you are. Everyone's going to be different. No negative connotation to any of those words. They all mean different things to different people, but it just means that you have incredible power. And it's time for you to understand how to wield it for good. That's what a light worker does. Okay? All right. Okay, let's grab some clarifiers. I want to clarify the Six of Pentacles here. Clarify the Six of Pentacles for person A. Clarify the Six of Pentacles for person A. Seven of Swords. So for person A over here, yeah, they're leaving this situation. This person A is either in the middle right now or has just left a karmic situation. Whether that's a job, family member, or commitment. This person right here, this karmic right here, they have run away from that situation, or they're in the middle of running away from that situation. And that is bringing them this balance. Get a clarifier for the Nine of Cups. Nasty, toxic situation, whatever that was. Every time I get this particular Seven of Swords, that is really my card for a nasty, toxic situation that someone needs to run away from. And it's actually, you see this crow in the front. This is the main karmic, but look, there's a couple more here. And this one has its mouth open. I mean, this was like not just one person. This is a group of people that this person is running away from. Clarify the Nine of Cups. Clarify the Nine of Cups over here for person A. Too many. One. Okay, that one. Ace of Swords. That's what we got on that. So, sometimes the Ace of Swords is about bringing in communication. But what I'm really getting with this Ace of Swords particularly is this Nine of Cups energy, this incredible independence and abundance and in self-love has come from a download from Spirit. That Ace of Swords is not outward communication. This is communication coming in from Spirit. Look at the illumination to the middle of her head there with that winding staircase. It's been a really challenging road to get to this place for this person. This is an incredible download from Spirit, okay? Then with the Eight of Swords, let's clarify that Eight of Swords, this unraveling, the being stuck in their head. No longer being stuck in their head, getting that clarity. And you see the clarity coming in here with the self-love. That is directly affecting this Eight of Swords energy, that stuck in the head's energy there. It's dispelling it. Okay, something flipped. The Lovers, yeah. No longer stuck in their head about their twin flame connection. They understand their twin flame connection fully now. No, there's no more. It's being completely unraveled, that confusion. That being stuck in the head over wanting this. They know what they want now. Okay, let's grab a clarifier for the Hierophant on person B. What's going on with person B with this Hierophant? The spiritual teacher. You know, and sometimes, like, when the Hierophant looks like a pope or a holy man, I get that it's like a confession that needs to come out. And so there could be a confession, like this person could be waiting for a confession. Like in a Zen place, waiting for communication with some kind of truth to be told, some kind of confession about previous happenings in the connection by the other person. But okay, let's see what we get. Speak out of turn too much. So I'm seeing that classic Hierophant in my mind. So I think that there is some kind of component of waiting for that communication. But Three of Wands is what we get to clarify that. So the Three of Wands with the Hierophant. And this Three of Wands, this is really manifesting for the future is what I get. You see the wand in her hand, and she's like, there's this magic kind of being whipped up by this character in this card. The Three of Wands is all about looking out to the future, like preparing for the future. I see this person getting into, look at this. I see this person really getting into their spiritual energy, really getting zen about what they're capable of, their magic and their power. This person is getting into their magic. And by magic, I don't necessarily mean spell work. I mean getting into your power, knowing that you have the manifestation ability that you do. That you have the power that you do. That's a really cool clarifier for that card. This person B over here is really the more advanced of the two. If I were going to like assign, I would say this is divine masculine, this is divine feminine. But I'm going to let you again pick what that's going to be. Let's clarify the Eight of Swords on person B's side over here. Clarify the Eight of Swords. It's funny, when I do my mirror message, this is how I lay it out too. This is masculine, this is feminine. That's kind of how the energy is coming out to me, but I feel like too often readers just assign rules, and the energy, like when I cross watch a reading, the energy almost always flip-flops, and it's almost always they're talking to me rather than they're talking to my person. It's weird. Not always, but like 90% of the time. Three of Cups. Okay, so here's what it is. Person B, and again, I probably get feminine energy, but take it as it resonates for you. So person B, the drugs that they have been, that's been holding them back is the third party situation here, the karmic situation. The situation that over here, masculine is like taking off from. This person still has something to release in their mind about this situation happening. Part of that is going to come with clarity when there's communication and they talk about the things that really happened in the connection and why it happened and how they want to proceed in the future. And that is going to help dispel some of that Eight of Swords energy. But there is some work for person B to be doing right now, or this wouldn't have come up. You really need to examine how you feel about this third-party situation that has happened. Could be, okay, so this is another storyline. There's two here. One, and I think for some people out there, this is the truth, that one person got into a third party and really hurt the other person here. And there's still a little bit in their head about that feeling of betrayal. I'm getting the word betrayal. Okay, and there's work to do. Why does that trigger you so much? Is there a wound, a prior wound that you need to heal in regards to this? Don't skip the work. If you know that you have some kind of betrayal wound that is further back than your person, and that your person triggered that, so it made it like, 10 times worse than it normally would be, I'm getting, for someone out there, you're not doing the work on that. You need to figure out in your own head why it triggers you so much and go back and heal the source. Heal the source. Okay, you can't skip over that and expect union. It's not going to happen. If you do get back into a connection with your person and you have that kind of a major trigger and unhealed wound, you're going to have a really tough time. The other storyline is that this person B, is in some kind of karmic situation right now, some kind of third-party situation, and they're feeling a little stuck to that, and it's time for them to release that. Okay, only you're going to know how it fits your story. All right, let's look at the High Priestess. Clarify the High Priestess, please. Clarify the High Priestess, please. Clarify the High Priestess, please. Clarify the High Priestess. Oh, that's a lot of cards. So we've got the King of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Two of Cups, and Temperance. I'm going to take them. Normally I'm not going to take 4 cards when I'm asking for one, but okay. So person B over here is incredibly intuitive, and they're really understanding things about the connection. They're really understanding this King of Wands energy that's happened, and I feel like it's happened on both sides. This incredibly passionate energy that I think the person B understands that there is now an intuitive knowing that there's control where there wasn't before. I think that there was more Knight of Wands energy in this connection before. Passion in and out, being spread around in weird places, right? Time to rein that in on both sides. And I think that person B intuitively knows that that's happening. So that's really a positive. And then we got the Knight of Swords. So it's also a knowing that communication is going to be coming. But with the Temperance and the Two of Cups here, I don't know, I'm not holding those right. Temperance and the Two of Cups here, it's like communication is going to be coming about this twin flame connection. But the divine timing is really tough, guys. Like with Temperance here, knowing that it's only going to come in divine timing. That's like the hardest part of the journey, right? It's really tough. It's okay. So I was really thinking about something earlier today, and it pertains to this set of cards. So let me tell you my thought process, because we are kind of all in the same boat, right? As twin flames, you know, a lot of you are in the same place that I am. And when I first opened up to spirit and realized that I did have the power that I have, and I did have the abilities that I have, which are not unique in the world, guys. A lot of people have them. A lot of you have them. If you haven't developed them yet, I don't know, but hopefully you will harness that, and you will. When I first opened up, you know, you don't always like have any kind of foundation, and you don't always have mentors or teachers, or I had to go find everything. And kind of as you get downloads and as you are able to see things, like my clairs are really, really strong. And when I first got them, it was like this incredible burst of energy that was just like shooting off the top of my head. And it was like that for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I mean, I wasn't sleeping very much because I didn't need to. And there was all this energy. It was crazy. And I was on, like, you know, from 0 to 10, I was on 11 all the time. And I didn't know how to deal with it until I found a mentor. I actually found a Facebook group where you can find, like, you can research people, and there are people that mentor you. And I got this beautiful woman that helped me learn to ground, to get that energy in check so I can pull it back, which was amazing. Now I'm like very even keel. Sometimes when I get excited, it like bursts out, but she really helped me. But there was like a lot of things along the way that you don't always have someone to tell you about. And so one of the things I was thinking about is timelines. You know, I talk about timelines in the readings because they're so important to me. I started learning that I could see things. Like I could see what was going to happen. You know, I'm not Nostradamus, but I can see things. I know certain things are going to happen. You know, I was able to predict, like, I knew when, you know, we were going to have closures. You know, everything was going to close up. I knew when we were going to have a vaccine. I knew that, you know, when it was going to start getting distributed and things like that. And I just only really talked to my family about that because, you know, people believe what they're going to believe. And I just, it doesn't really, like, me relating that to other people doesn't help them. It doesn't change anything. It's just, it's kind of my own little confirmations as I go. And, but like with my counterpart, I could see things that were going to happen in his life, and I knew things that were going to happen in his relationships and things like that. And at first, it was really confusing because I would know something's going to happen that wouldn't happen. And it would be like, oh, I was wrong, and I would second guess myself. And, but then I'd keep getting it. If this is going to happen, I know this is going to happen. And I even attempted to relate some of that to him at one point, you know, a couple of times. And he probably thought I was crazy because it was so far off in the future. And what I didn't understand is that you see things when you first, you know, learn about your abilities. You see things. Look at this girl here, right? This person. And you don't understand the timeline that goes with it. And I didn't understand that a lot of the things that I see, they're not going to happen for 6 months or a year or whatever. So I was seeing things and expecting, like, within a month or two for them to materialize, and they didn't always. I mean, sometimes they did, but they didn't always. And there's a real learning curve there to understand that you're not, you know, crazy or wrong. It's just that sometimes it's down the road. It's really hard to gauge, like, and in the beginning, what's happening when. So I feel like, you know, this person is in that kind of boat. Person B is in this kind of boat where they can see things, they know things are happening, but they don't know when. And so, you know, they know things are happening with their twin flame connection. Okay, they know that communication is coming. And it's like pulling yourself back and saying, okay, if it doesn't happen this month or next month, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Like, divine timing, it has its own rhythm. It's when things are ready, and all divine timing means is when both partners are ready and aligned together. Because if person B here is way ahead of person A's got to catch up. So that means person B has to get to the point that they need to get to and kind of hang out and just kind of take a look back. Is there anything I need to clean up, like this? You know, my feelings about some kind of third-party situation. You know, are there drugs that I need to work on before this person catches up to me and we're really in complete alignment? And this temperance, this is just saying, look, alignment is coming, but you got to wait for it. And it's really, really tough when you can see these things ahead of time and you don't know the timeline. And this is really where you have to learn to give it up to spirit and say, look, I know this is going to happen. I trust myself. I trust my abilities. I trust my power. I trust the universe to do what's best for me and right for me and my person. So I got to trust divine timing. Okay? It's hard. It really is. It's just like, I know this is happening. And it's also, it can be really frustrating. This person B can get really frustrated with person A. Because it's like, when are you going to catch up? When are you going to catch up? And then they got to do their journey at their pace. But it's like when you are there and you can see it, but they can't see it yet. Like when you know stuff that's happening on the other side and it like doesn't happen for 6 months or a year from when you saw it, that's crazy. That's really tough. Doesn't mean it won't happen though. Okay, I'm just going to start throwing out some cards. I'm not going to clarify anything specific. Just tell me what I need to know, Spirit. Tell me what I need to know about person A over here. What do you have to tell me? What would be good to know? So we got the Devil in reverse. There's some kind of toxic behavior or addictions that are being let go of on this side. And we've got the Five of Wands in reverse. There's conflict being let go of for person A. What else do you have to tell me, Spirit? What else do you have to tell me? This is really good energy. I mean, they're leaving this karmic situation. They're getting balanced, leaving some kind of addictions. That could be substance use. It could be just the codependency of that relationship. They're getting out of their head. They're leaving conflict behind. They're leaving these multiple people that are causing issues behind. Anything else, Spirit, that you want to tell us about person A right now? An Ace of Pentacles. Look, they're setting down roots for a solid offer. Look at the roots coming out of that pentacle. This person is growing that pentacle right now. They're actually growing that solid offer. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's happening. What do you want to tell me, Spirit, about person B over here? Just what's up with person B over here? What would be good for us to know? Tell me the story. The World. This person really has completed quite a few cycles. There's an ending to this karmic cycle, and I think it has something to do with this Three of Cups energy and this being in your head about this third party situation, whichever side it's on. There's a cycle completing there. Cycle completing there for sure. What else do you want to tell me? Too many. About person B. What would be for our highest good to know? Three of Pentacles. Yeah, building a solid, strong foundation for yourself right now. You're at your new place in the world and your new place in life. You've done a lot of growing. You've done a lot of healing. And you're really creating a beautiful, stable foundation for your own life, regardless of your partner. Nice. And again, we've got a teaching situation here too. Again, look at that. It looks like a teacher with students, doesn't it? You have some kind of teaching ability here, guys. Whether you have tapped into it, started looking at that, you have some ability to guide other people in spirituality of some sort, okay? And I would love to know how this resonates for you in the comments. Any of this resonates for you. I am dropping all my cards and I caught them. Okay, I had caught them. What came straight up? The King of Swords and the Ten of Wands. And then we had the Sun. Hold on, let me get my cards that fell. I think I'm done with them, but I can't stand to leave them on the floor. There's two more that fell face up, so I'm going to take them. Okay, so let me look at all this mess that I just threw down. So we got the King of Swords really being, hold on, jeez Louise. Okay. So we got the King of Swords, person B really being in this energy of mastering clear-headedness. They're like really, really clear-headed. Not so much only coming from emotion, but coming from a place of logic as well. Really balanced in that, I'm feeling. And we already had the World. The Ten of Cups, they're actually seeing the possibility of this happy family, happy home, happy love life. You see this in the distance. Justice, you see justice being served with your intuition. You see it. You see it. We had Three of Pentacles. So the Ten of Wands, you know, with this Eight of Swords energy, with being trapped in your head about that third party situation, I see you putting that burden down. I see this ending with the World card here especially that came out. Where'd it go? Yeah, here. Look, ending that karmic cycle with those burdens. And the Sun. The happiest card in the deck is how we're ending at person B's reading. Absolute fulfillment. And I want to show you something, okay? I want to show you going from here, from the Three of Cups, which is a third-party situation where you're like feeling bad about these people in the situation, to the Sun, where you feel good about these people. You can let go of this Eight of Swords energy with this Three of Cups and balance yourself out so you feel good about the people in this situation again. It's like removing the pain and only leaving the good stuff. Really nice. Okay, this has been your reading. I hope that this has helped you. Thank you for letting me be part of your journey and part of your day. I'm so sorry about the live not working out. Technical issues, guys. But I am going to work it out for next week. If you love the content, if you love the readings, and if you're liking my vibe, I would love for you to shoot that thumb up on the video. That's really, really helpful. That really improves the channel, helps it grow, helps the messages get out, and helps me keep bringing back free content for you guys. If you hit subscribe and all, you'll get notifications about all my upcoming videos. And remember, as soon as I get a few more subscribers here, when they get to that next 100 mark, I'll be giving away a mini reading, so subscribe. I'll announce that in the video when that happens, and there'll, be a place to put in comments where you can enter to win that mini reading. Okay, I love you guys. I'll see you next time.